call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Ms. Christensen, Mr. Gingona, Mr. Buenaventura,
Aye. Present.
Mr. Sylvester, Ms. Manalo.
Present. Thank you. We're at the Daly City Housing Development Finance Agency meeting at our regular meeting. We have the approval of the minutes for May 14, 2018. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now moving on, we have a resolution in front of us, the Sand Hill Property Foundation request for housing trust funds for acquisition and rehabilitation of 115-131 or 115 to 131, the apartment numbers on East Mulkey Street Apartments. And they have staff to report.
Good evening, Honorable Chair and members of the Agency Board. Before you tonight is a request to provide a conditional commitment of $2.9 million from the Housing Trust Fund to subsidize acquisition and rehabilitation of 16 apartment units located on East Mulkey Street. In February of this year, these units came on the market, and the units were advertised as having lots of upside potential, which means that prospective buyers were encouraged that sizable rent increases could be supported and available to whoever bought the buildings. Sand Hill Property Foundation, a nonprofit based in Menlo Park, rapidly acquired the units with the intent to preserve affordable rents and carry out various rehabilitation activities on the units. It is safe to say, I think, that if Sand Hill Property Foundation had not acquired the buildings, whoever did acquire them would have raised the rents significantly, and many of the existing residents, the majority of whom we estimate are low income, would have been displaced due to unaffordable rent increases. In order to submit a competitive offer, it was necessary to acquire the properties in a very rapid time frame and without the typical due diligence that property owners usually employ. The buyer was not given any time to complete the usual studies such as termite studies, environmental review, and building condition studies. Sand Hill Property Foundation took a considerable risk in purchasing the property without due diligence, and that is, unfortunately, what it takes in this market in order to acquire and preserve existing affordable housing, because these sorts of purchase opportunities come on the market very rarely and disappear quite quickly. In addition to taking the risk in buying the East Mulkey properties without full due diligence, the pro forma that Sand Hill Property Foundation has prepared in support of their request for funding shows their organization investing over $2.5 million of their own resources into the property. This is equivalent to 35% of the total project cost and is very unusual for affordable housing projects that we typically see in Daly City, where even the nonprofit developers rarely invest their own funds in property development, and if they do, it's for a much smaller percentage of the total project cost. A few words about Sand Hill Property Foundation. This organization was formed by the principals of Sand Hill Property Company, a real estate investment and development company based in Menlo Park. Sand Hill Property Company is experienced in the development of all types of real estate, including hotels, shopping centers, and office buildings. They've developed more than 40 projects around the peninsula, and their foundation, the entity that intends to own East Mulkey, was formed in order to serve the needs of lower-income communities. The East Mulkey Apartments will be the 6th affordable housing development that the Sand Hill Property Foundation has invested in. Overall, acquisition of the East Mulkey apartment units is a very good opportunity to preserve existing affordable housing and an opportunity to leverage the city's Affordable Housing Trust Fund with a developer who is committed to long-term affordability. Staff is recommending that the funds be offered in the form of a conditional commitment. We recommend an agreement that gives Sand Hill Property Foundation 6 to 12 months to complete physical needs assessments, obtain income information from the existing residents, and to seek additional subsidy financing. Daly City funds would not actually be dispersed until the developer meets various milestones defined in the conditional loan commitment. At that time, final loan documents will include a deed restriction to ensure that the property remains affordable and well-maintained for 55 years. And I'm available to answer any questions you might have. And we do have Jason Chow here this evening. He's a manager from the Sand Hill Property Foundation, and he can also answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from my colleagues? Seeing none, I think we're ready for a vote.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
All in favor? Oh, voice vote, please. Roll call.
Mr. Buenaventura,
Aye.
Mr. Sylvester,
Aye.
Ms. Manalo.
Aye. As mentioned in our council meeting, this is something that you definitely see important to ensure that there are other opportunities for our community. So thank you for bringing this forth.
Madam Mayor, if I may also, again, I would like to reiterate and thank staff for bringing this to our attention. The due diligence that had to be done quickly in order to secure this deal, and this would not have been possible if we didn't understand. You made it very easy to understand, and it's very much appreciated. And I'm glad it worked out, and we look forward to the long-term relationship. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. So, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. Thank you very much.